Say hello to my little friend. This is a I think one of the most important and under-emphasized pieces of equipment you can have, and that is a good headlamp. This is a Streamlight Trident. I've had this headlamp for about 3 years. It's been reliable. In fact, I liked it so much, I bought a second one for backup. That rubber strap I've never used. I've just been using the headband. After 3 years, this thing's starting to loosen up, but I don't have it tightened up all the way. So it's starting to lose a little bit, has lost a little bit of its elasticity. So, what is it about this headlamp that I like? It is, I think it's supposed to be water resistant, though I haven't really tested it on that front. It holds up in cold weather fairly well. It has 2 settings for a green light, and then it throws a high beam. I like the green light. I like the multiple brightness settings on it. Typically when I'm walking at dark 30 in the morning out to wherever it is I'm going hunting, I usually have it at just the one LED. If I'm looking around, I need a little bit more ambient light, then I use 2. And then if I'm something that I really need to look at, then I'll just throw the high beam on there. It throws a light pretty far, and the green light does not seem to mess with my night vision, and it actually provides more ambient light than a red light, and I'll show a little experiment with that in a little bit. What don't I like about this lamp, the headlamp? It can get kind of heavy sometimes. Seems to fit better on some hats than others. It's bulky. So wad this thing up and stick it in your pocket or in your pack or whatever. It takes up a little bit of space. The other thing I don't like is this button here, even though it's recessed. I still had this button hit by accident while it was in my pack. And I pulled it out like a week later and found that it was on. Now there is a low battery indicator right there, which is helpful. It does work. I've had this thing run out on batteries on me before. Let's see, one thing I like about this thing is it's not like a typical headlamp where it's got the battery compartment and it flops open like this. This thing is screwed in right here. The batteries in this headlamp will actually last quite a while. I can put in fresh batteries and it will last me an entire hunting season. If I'm going like on a 7-day trip, then I will put fresh batteries in it and I'll change them out later. Or at the beginning of a hunting season, I'll just put some fresh batteries in this thing. This, as battery usage goes, this thing seems to use 1 battery at a time. I've pulled them out and checked them, and I found only 1 battery was drained, the other 2 looked okay. Usually when I'm storing this thing for long term, I'll pull the batteries out just to prevent any type of battery seepage. If you see that right there, I'm sorry, that right here, this only goes in one way, just like that. And you put the cap on, and I just hand tight. I think I've said already, I've used this thing 3 years. The only complaints I have about it is a little heavy, a little bulky, and sometimes this switch can get turned on by accident. Other than that, I've been really happy with this thing, and I like the light color. It preserves my night vision. It's very utilitarian. It's very simple to operate. It's not like you have to hold down a button or anything. Just 3 simple button clicks and that's it. And when you're not hunting by yourself, this is one of the most important pieces of equipment you have, because if you go out on an evening hunt and your headlamp screws up, getting back to camp is going to be a little bit difficult. And that is why this is important. You want to make sure you have a good headlamp if you're going to be out in the mountains by yourself after dark. Alright, I'll show you a little clip. Just messing around with red, green, and blue lights. Alright, Streamlight Trident. Lowest power setting. Lowest light setting. My daughter's handiwork with her little bow. So this is a green light test. Alright, now we'll try the red light. Yeah, it makes a huge difference even on this camera. Red light is on. Maximum power setting. Now put it on the green. Now this light is more casts a red light farther than my other headlamps. You can barely see it. As opposed to the green light, lowest power setting, medium power setting. Yeah, green light makes a huge difference. Military flashlight. You know what? I should try the blue setting just to see what that looks like. Let's try a blue light. Yeah, blue light casts a good light too. I don't know if it keeps your night vision as well as red or green, but that clearly makes a difference. Let's try the green again. Now, Streamlight Trident only has 2 settings on the green light. Actually, this other flashlight, now I think about it, is also Streamlight Sidewinder. It's pretty close. I think the blue light's just a stitch brighter. Whether or not it keeps your night vision or not, I don't know. Alright, not much else to say. This has been a good headlamp, and there are probably better headlamps out there, more expensive. This thing I think I spent about $30 for. And I gladly bought another one. This thing has been worth every penny. And I highly recommend it. Anyway, have a good one. The elk. I could say the same in 2020.